Okay, my people. I don't know if you've heard the news, but this past Tuesday, a few days ago, I believe in New York, Trump Tower, FIFA, Gianni Infantino, and the elects of FIFA floated around an idea of a 64 team World Cup. 64 teams. Now, let me just remind you, we've not even done the expanded World Cup here on U.S. soil, on Mexican soil, and on Canadian soil of 48 teams. We've not even done that and seen what that looks like. And they're already thinking about a 64 team World Cup for the 2030 World Cup. Let me explain. 2030 will be the 100-year anniversary of the World Cup. It's centennial. 1930, the first World Cup. I believe that tournament had 8 teams, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a little more. I have to go back in memory. I wasn't around back then, but from what I've heard, from what I've seen on the internet, the U.S. men's national team, third place finish in that World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. Semifinal appearance. Um, anyways, to commemorate the 100 years, the idea of a 64 team World Cup was being floated around. Now, let me remind you what the 2030 World Cup will be right now as we know it. It will be 48 teams. It will be 3 continents: Africa, South America, and Europe. And it will be 6 countries. You would have Portugal, Spain, Morocco. You would have Argentina, Uruguay, founding members of the 1930 World Cup final, and Paraguay. Well, yes, Paraguay did play the 1930 World Cup, but so did a few other countries. Why is Paraguay there? Their president, Alejandro Dominguez, is the vice president of FIFA. Alejandro Dominguez is a very important individual, and due to political standing, latched on, se coló, and got Paraguay to host a World Cup game. This was met with great skepticism. The 1930 3 continents, 6 countries. I understand South America's inability to host something like this. South American countries like Argentina and Uruguay, amazing footballing culture. Amazing. But when you host a World Cup, and certainly with that many teams, it's not just about the stadiums. And yes, the stadiums are a massive part of that. The stadiums in Argentina and Uruguay are not modern, not up to code. The infrastructure is not up to snuff. It's not just the stadium. It's where you house teams, fans, administrators. You don't have the support, the infrastructure, the hotels to do it. You don't have the public transportation to get people in and out of these stadiums. You don't have the infrastructure of having these places host teams to train in. Facilities, training grounds like the grass, the turf, etc., etc. So many reasons your cities, countries could not support this. It is what it is, which is why each of these 3 countries I just named, Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay, get the first home game, and that's it. And then they're gone to the rest of the tournament in what is the Iberian Peninsula, Portugal, Spain, Morocco. The rest of it will be held there in 3 countries. The infrastructure isn't there. And we're talking about 48 teams. Imagine expanding to 64 teams. Now, I understand the idea of wanting to do something grand, great for your centennial. And I understand they want to be creative, but we have to realize where the World Cup has come from. I mean, you went from having gone from 16 to 24 teams in 1982, increasing it to 32, which is the World Cup in 1998 that we all grew up with and beyond, to now 48. You have to at least let the 48 team World Cup go by and see how that pans out. The qualification process to that has already been diluted. The 48-team World Cup, as we know it, as we will experience it, is going to be hosted in 3 countries. It's going to be hosted in 3 countries in North America. 3 significantly big countries. The U.S. is massive. 40 million people. Mexico's about 180. Canada, it's massive. They have world-class stadiums all over North America. Massive infrastructure. And we still have doubts about how 48 teams will do in these 3 countries and what that process will look like for the fans, for people attending, for people hosting, the cities that are hosting, public transportation, hotels, safety, homeland security, all these different things. We still don't know what that's going to be like for 48 teams in 3 countries that I would say are pretty capable of hosting a World Cup. And now you want to expand to 64 teams because you want to make it something special? It already is special. It's a World Cup. It's once every 4 years. Wait until we see what's going to happen in this World Cup. 48 teams. You're going to have a lot of third-place teams going through. You're going to have a lot of lopsided scorelines. Have you seen the Nations League, the Euros? These lopsided scorelines, Norway beating, I forgot who they beat. It was like 8-9-0. These scorelines. We're going to have that at the World Cup. That's what you're going to see. These amazing records. And I know records are made to be broken. Miroslav Klose, Ronaldo R9, now Messi. They're going to be broken because you're going to have teams who, quite frankly, don't deserve to be there. Who haven't shown merit to be there. In CONCACAF, in this World Cup cycle, you already have 3 teams. In CONCACAF, you already have 3 teams that are guaranteed to be at the World Cup. You have the United States, you have Mexico, and you have Canada, the host. They're guaranteed to be at the World Cup. You're going to have 3 more teams that will be guaranteed through the World Cup qualifying process. And I believe 2 more can get in. 2 more can potentially get in due to wild cards. If this happens, all of South America is going to get in. All of South America is going to get in. You're going to have the Venezuelas of the world, respectfully speaking, who have never been to a World Cup. The Bolivias of the world, respectfully speaking. Chile, who quite frankly hasn't qualified for the last 3 World Cups? And now you're going to gift them a World Cup? Add on top of that some score lines like we saw at the Club World Cup, Auckland versus Bayern Munich. You're diluting the process. You're, dare I say, cheapening the product. The World Cup is the world's biggest event. Blows the Super Bowl out of the water. Blows the Champions League out of the water. I've been fortunate enough to play in one. I didn't experience it the way as I've covered the last 2, 2018 and 2022, Russia and Qatar. It is an event, a party, a celebration of the world's greatest sport, where the best go to compete against the best. By doing this, by gifting 64 teams an opportunity to play, you're cheapening it. Even if it is a one-off. Even if it's because it's the 100-year anniversary. Don't cheapen the World Cup. Don't cheapen the sport we love. This is FIFA looking out for themselves. This is FIFA scratching other executives' backs, like Alejandro Dominguez. You get rich, I get rich. This is greed. More teams, more revenue, more TV streams, more broadcast rights, more gates, more merchandising, more. At your expense, cheapening the sport. I don't know what to say. I feel very proud of being in the World Cup in a country as big as the United States, saying I was one of 23 players that got to play this every 4 years. A select group of individuals who have experienced this. 0.0 something percent. Now you're gifting these opportunities for political standing. It's FIFA being FIFA. They're cheapening the brand that we love.